Now, a lot of people, when they leave Jamaica and they go to Japan and other countries, they don't come back to Jamaica. And they don't seem happy when they come back to Jamaica. But you left Japan after a number of years and you're now back in Jamaica.
10 years.
10 years, right? So
why
did you leave Japan
and to come back to Jamaica?
Yes, and why did you come back to Jamaica and how is it like?
Because again, exposure. I lived in New York in my 20s. I know what America is. I believe to go to America and go to Canada. I know it's not a bed of roses. There's no, what I come to realize, there's no way you can be really happy if you're not in your own country.
Exactly.
I left the United States. That was the United States has its own drama with racism. I didn't want that. I didn't want to migrate to Canada. Canada
like
looks so lonely and boring. Looks so lonely and depressing.
Leave me home alone.
And I'm not knocking persons who are there. Good for you. It's good for you. But I know that Jamaica, I come back and I'm living my, is that a put over? I don't have to put over anything. I'm living a wonderful life in Jamaica.
In Cobourne, Mr. 876 Oldest Taste. What go on?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah,
this is great. But first question. Oldest Taste. What are we actually referring to?
The food.
Okay, all right, cool.
So, Dwayne, we want you to give us a little bit and tell us about you. Just a little 30 seconds snapshot, and then we can delve into other questions. 30 seconds. Go.
30 seconds. All right, countdown. So my name is Dwayne O'Neill Cobourne. I am 38 years old. I'm from the parish of St. Mary. Yes, I may look so good, man.
82 man. Me too. I feel away.
I'm a Teachfield High School old boy. I'm a teacher by profession, and I'm a foodie.
Yes. Nice, short and sweet. So, I met Dwayne in Japan a few years ago. Good youth, and I'm really a foodie because the last time we link up me and Venetia in Osaka, you bring us to a all-you-can-eat buffet at the train station, right?
Yeah.
So, he's a big foodie. But before we delve into the food mix and everything, we want to talk about little Dwayne in a St. Mary and onwards. Tell us.
Yes. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about me?
Like what was
you know, say you're good with mommy. What was it like? How was the family? How was the neighborhood? How were you in school? Blah, blah, blah. How was Gilbert?
Gilbert, I was 6.
So
Gilbert, I remember I was sleeping on my mother's bed and I looked out and I saw like a 6 in a ring. You kind of understand where to get it. But I was 6. I was basically here in the same house.
Wait, they still live in the same place?
Yeah, family house.
Alright, so we can't tell this much. Like for me, I was young, but Gilbert was fun. Like when they make box truck and put kang upon it and ride you on the community. Is it what
really?
Never
born yet.
Poor baby, hush.
I was in the belly.
Oh, so you were made during Gilbert.
Well, mommy them. Me don't know. Them probably have a Valentine's Day or after Valentine's Day session, and me come about. So before we delve into that, so little Dwayne growing up in St. Mary, what was that like?
It was quiet. I'm the last of 4 siblings. My older brother is 10 years older than me. So when I came about, it was like an only child. I was home alone because everybody was off to college or off to work. So I basically grew up alone, although I have 3 other siblings. I grew up in the church. I was close to my mother. My mother is an educator. My father is a business owner. So I grew up always studying common entrance around the back, around the
Yeah,
washroom, always on a board.
Common entrance,
I
yeah.
had my own classroom at home. And they had a desk, the all-in-one desk, and a board. So coming home, just work again. Then I passed common entrance for Teachfield High School. Went to high school, did CXC, left for college in Kingston at 16. And I lived on my own. I did my first degree.
Wait, 16? You live on your own?
16.
In a town?
Yes.
No, sir.
Yeah. I left high school at 16. At 16, I was in first year. I was the youngest first year. I remember the first time, but I didn't have a thumb drive. Coming from country, we don't know what thumb drive. I did this views. So we were at camp. It was a political science assignment. I didn't have a computer. Right, so I went to Kingston at 16. I was going to college.
Wow.
And I remember I was the youngest person in my year, and I can't forget doing a poli-sci assignment and spending all night in the library. Everybody have a laptop, Nico from country. I have no laptop. And he said, so do assignment, pushing the diskette thing, we save it. Went home, come back tomorrow.
It not work.
I made her start crying, like the stress.
The 8 side, that's the only course. We must get D in our UE. Hit the course.
I failed that course already. You hear me? And trust me. Listen to me. I thought I passed. I can fail by 1 point. And him couldn't feel sorry for me and give me the 1 point.
Listen, me passed the course by about 6 points. I one of the best D me ever get coming in to do it over. Yes, it has stats.
I wasn't planning on failing, but luckily the lecturer saw me the night before and knew I was doing the assignment.
Okay.
But I was just stressed. So at 16, I was not mature. Went to school and I migrated, came back, finished my degree, and then I migrated to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So what was it like? So you actually lived on campus, right?
No, my parents rented me an apartment.
Oh,
so you're 16 in your own apartment and going to UE.
Wow.
No, I didn't go to UE. I went to UCC.
University College of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Of the Caribbean. Okay.
And we interviewed the SSDM, Student Service Development Manager.
Yes.
Okay.
Kevin Powell. Yes.
Oh, I went back there in the 90s, back in about 99.
But him did that from not long time him did it. I don't remember what year, but him did that long time.
Not that long though. No. Okay. No, not that long.
Right. So
how,
I'm a UCC old boy.
Huh? So how was that though? Like for you, a 16-year-old living on your own and going to university or going to school?
It was fun. I was responsible, so my parents went to my apartment and I got an allowance. I lived on my own. I had to cook. My parents would come over on weekends and bring like grocery and, see them okay. I went to church on Sundays and just a routine, work, home. Then my father got ill and passed away when I was in third year.
Okay.
And I had to go to work. So that's when I started working. And I went back to my alma mater, Teachfield, and I taught there for 2 years.
Nice,
I taught accounts and POB, and afterwards I migrated to the United States, and then that got boring. And then I came back home in 2006.
Oh.
Okay.
And then, you reached Japan?
So after coming home, I started an MBA back at UCC because I didn't me there, and I can't study nowhere else.
Go school.
Go start at the Commonwealth Masters. Couldn't afford it, so I had to drop out. Couldn't find a job here for various reasons. So I saw ad in the paper, and I just applied. And then many months later, I got a call from somebody. Remember you're applying to Japan? Are you interested? I'm like, did I? Okay. And I come to what hotel name in New Kings? Is Ultimate Court or
Spanish Court Hotel.
Spanish Court, whatever. Okay, right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Come there on a Saturday and bring a lesson, and then mommy helped me make like lesson
plan
chart, and I went down there and did my thing, and was Bernice, as you know.
Bernice, condolences, Miss Bernice.
She died?
Yes, Bernice Lawrence, lovely lady.
Wow. Yeah, she has said many.
Wait there.
A yonder.
Listen, man, me kill a lady now because me swear say last year her son right so she dead. Me know so she's very ill. You know what? I'm go Google. But continue.
So, right, that's how I got to Japan.
And you know, I was in Japan when you were in Japan. You started before me, but for my experiences, I had lots of good and lots of bad experiences. In the latter part, the last 4 years, it was great, but in the first 2-3 years, 2.5, me hate Japan. But me no say you did a go on with things at Japan, teaching and all over and doing all kind of things. So what was your most profound moment in Japan? And then you can give us one that you didn't really enjoy or like.
My profound moment in Japan or
so like you not have none. You?
No, so like him have a whole heap.
And him love post so when him there Japan, post Isha?
In Japan. Profound.
Or what was your best experience?
But my best experience is not per se in Japan, but more so because of Japan.
The traveling?
So, the traveling.
Same.
So the Japan itself was a whole story by itself, you know, good and bad. But then because of Japan, I achieve certain things, I experience certain things, and have certain testimonies. So because of Japan, one thing came out of that was my exposure to a whole different world, different worlds, and my perspective. And as an educator, and I see how that come into play, you know, traveling to the Middle East, traveling to Egypt, traveling to Europe, traveling throughout Asia, I experienced different, you know, life, people living and different social
and different types of food, right?
And different types of food.
And you're foodie already?
But just different living, different, you know, people experiencing different things. You know, the food is good, but just to know that how I view things might not be the only way, and how we live. So it gives you more appreciation of how other persons live, you know. So
I make you appreciate home
because of Japan.
Yes, Japan, living in Japan and traveling in Asia really make you appreciate Jamaica. Me I tell you.
It really makes you appreciate Jamaica. And you're like, well, we're not Jamaica for that, but you know, at least in Jamaica, you know.
At least, right?
Right. At least.
Definitely.
So because of Japan, I can say I have experienced a lot of stuff that I can draw on now.
So now, if you should talk about what you didn't like, what was that?
What?
Not getting in no trouble. Not getting in no trouble.
About Brad.
What
I didn't like about Japan is their closed-mindedness.
Exactly.
What I didn't like much about them is that I left my country. Yes, I know I left my country to go to your first world country to assist you in your education program. And I can understand how teachers are so dumb. How can educators be so dumb, be so ill-exposed, be so uneducated, be so backward?
In a first world country.
In a first world country. And then you're boasting. And then you're boasting. So a lot of those bad experiences is along that line. Even some of our own foreigners were there. I don't know if where they're coming from, they didn't have a strong footing, but they migrated to Japan and then they have forgotten about themselves and converting to this pseudo.
They assimilate too much. They get stuck in the culture.
I mean, when you're talking to me in Japanese, it's a bit, you're like, yeah, why would you be speaking to me, another English speaker, in Japanese? That's a bit. So those are some, and other bad experiences.
All right. Some of that I can identify with because some of that is my experience. So you just spoke about Japan, but no, a lot of people when they leave Jamaica and they go to Japan and other countries, they don't come back to Jamaica. And they don't seem happy when they come back to Jamaica. But you left Japan after a number of years and you're now back in Jamaica.
10 years.
10 years, right? So why did you leave Japan
and to come back to Jamaica?
Yes, and why did you come back to Jamaica, and how is it like?
Because again, exposure. I lived in New York in my 20s. I know what America is. I believe to go to America and go to Canada. I know it's not a bed of roses. There's no, what I come to realize, there's no way you can be really happy if you're not in your own country.
Exactly.
I left the United States. That was the United States has own drama with racism. I didn't want that. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to migrate to Canada. Canada looks so lonely and looks so lonely and depressing.
Leave me home alone.
And I'm not knocking persons who are there. Good for you. It's good for you. But I know that Jamaica, I come back and I'm living my, is that a put over? I don't have to put over anything. I'm living a wonderful life in Jamaica. I'm happy. Even my friends, oh, see, come home. Your voice sound happier. Yeah, I mean, it's my home. Where we can get my breadfruit, where we can get my sunshine, where we can get the beach, where we can get my church. I mean, even something simple as church. So I came home, one, because my mother was getting older, or is getting older, and I didn't want my mother to be here alone.
Makes sense.
And two, I just wanted, just peace and to be able to sleep and the body not looking just all of Japan. I wanted to be home.
Wash off coconut water, beach water, wash up your
mother bad pan and everything. I just wanted to be home. I wanted to go to my phone company and explain what's wrong. I wanted, something
that's midday, bango.
No.
Japan.
I don't want none of that. So
to be honest, like you talk about the phone, it is so difficult to get them to help you with your phone in Japan.
I mean, you're so many expatriates, and you're not making it simple. It's obvious to me that you're only interested in my tax dollar. When I think about how many money I leave by Japan, it hurts. 10 years worth of taxes, 10 years worth of pension.
City tax.
I mean, you're only interested in my money. You're not interested in making it easier for me to live there. Mm-hmm. I mean, not livable at all. I come there and I should speak the language. Fine, but why other countries can make it easier for persons to live there as an expatriate? I'm coming here to provide a service for your citizens. And a simple thing as, even if you're sending me a bill, the bill is not readable.
Oh, it's in Japanese.
Yeah, you have
it's in Japanese.
For the most part, nobody to know. This is a topic that know that we are talking about some challenges that you had in Japan. I know that you're back in Jamaica. There is something that has affected you throughout your journey, both in Jamaica, in Japan, and probably in the United States, I'm not sure. And that is, you call it being a fat man in a small man's world, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
So, we're from Jamaica, where fat shaming is like a part of our culture, unfortunately.
Any kind of shaming.
Yeah,
if you dark skin, them call it black man. If you short, them call it sharp man.
They call it fat man, fatty, So
the culture, man, yeah.
growing up in Jamaica, larger than life, and I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way, because you're a really chubby guy, but you have a major personality. I'm sure at times it compensated, meaning you might have the weight, but people might overlook it because you are actually a big guy.
Right.
But for you, what is it like, or what has it been like living in that, as I said, small man's world, being the size that you are? I feel kind of sad saying that, but yeah.
So I've always been big. My parents are big. My brother is a big dude. My brother is taller than me. I know I'm tall. Mm-hmm. So we are from a big family. So I've always been big since I was a child. So for me, it's not new. It's nothing new for me. I was a child. Sometimes they're being teased. They grow up as a child, having issues finding clothes, finding clothes to fit, going to high school. But I've never, how would I say, I never allowed it to affect me negatively. Mm-hmm. I've always tried to persevere and to just keep pushing. I know some other persons take it on and they might get depressed or whatever.
Definitely.
But where the challenge is for me is basically, for example, okay, it started out when I left college, when I realized. So I did HR. My first and second degrees are in HR. Oh. Right. So when I was in college, my two lecturers came to me, and there was one was in second year. He came to me and he's like, Dwayne, the world is, Jamaica is kind of big time, you might be bright or you might study, but sometimes they don't, you won't get a job. You won't be chosen. Oh, wow. You won't be chosen because of your weight. Wow. I never think that's because in my head, as I growing up, it's always education first. As I said, my mother's a teacher. For me, education overcomes everything. So I've always wanted a path.
One quick second. Was this like a track and field or a football or a basketball coach? Like, it baffles me. Trust me. Like,
it was my marketing lecturer first. So, but I've always been told that education,
trumps everything.
Trumps everything. So I was always an achiever. As I said, I left high school at 16. How many persons finish high school at 16? Exactly. So I was always an early shooter, whatever. Mm-hmm. So you said that to me, but I didn't take it as anything. Because
early shooter.
Early shooter. I passed that. So because at the time I wasn't applying for jobs, so I didn't understand. I was still in academic study. When I did my major is in HR, so I have a really good lecturer. Even to today, we still talk like many years later. And she said to me, two things. First of all, you're doing HR, so when HR managers get your resume, it was straight away.
And she wants to see if you look the part.
But she just said, and she's saying too, in Jamaica because of your size. And I realized that, so like you're going to interviews, I get interviews for jobs, and the question, can you stand? Yes, I can with my 2 feet. Wow. But they literally asked if I can stand. Wow. That was at a credit union. I was applying at a credit union. I actually wanted to know if I could stand. Wow. And you get the looks, you're going to interview and you get there. And you're like, okay, you try to look past it. So I've always gotten those looks back then. Mm-hmm. But I try to push past that. Then I migrated to Japan, where even the smallest person is the biggest person.
That's true.
So the clothes thing not gonna work. So it's not even the clothes, it's the whole be the biggest person everywhere. Everywhere you go, I'm the biggest person, natural.
Pause.
Then I understood that. So when after arriving in Japan, I soon realized that I would be the biggest person everywhere. So all the anxieties of that rush back, but I try to push through.
Because you always stand out. Yeah.
I always stand out. So what I compensate, I don't know if Marsha realized back then. I used to wear these bright colors. Remember?
Yes.
And like the bright color tag is mostly because I teach elementary. Interact always in elementary school. So I had like 4 elementary schools when I just went. Like every day was elementary school. So I be this big guy in first grade. I realized I have to, because children gravitate towards bright colors. So I would wear these bright color sweaters and bow ties and stuff.
That's true.
Just to try. Do you remember? I don't wear those colors anymore. Well,
and now kind of offset everything else and have them focus on the colors.
Right, they focus on the colors, not the size. Just try to fit in whatever, to try to normalize my life. Mm-hmm. So that was Japan. Coming back to Jamaica now in my 30s, I'm not naive. I know that these things matter. But then you ask yourself that, I mean, are other persons that what are they thinking? So something happened recently at work, and that's why I told Marsha about that. So I work for a government agency, and they had a, what do they call it? Like an event. An event where outsiders would come on that day. So to distinguish staff from outsiders, all the staff members had to wear a particular color shirt that they would have purchased for us with the crest and everything. So everybody would come out, for example, in a white shirt and jeans. So we would have been ABC company. When visitors come, you can identify us by the
shirt and the color.
The shirt, right. So I was asked to do a particular task. The day before the event, I realized, the box comes by the shirt. Everybody had
none of them can fit you.
Where is my shirt? So I asked, where is my shirt? I was told no shirt was procured for me.
Oh, wow.
I asked why. I wasn't given a reason. So I called the manager and I said, the shirts are here and there's none for me. Why is that? So she said she doesn't know. She only got the list and she doesn't know why. She didn't formulate the list. Oh, wow. I said, okay. So I went back to do what I was doing. Luckily, I printed something, and when I went to the printer, guess what was there? The list. So now I have evidence, because when I checked the list, everybody's names were on the list except mine.
So hold on. So this is them basically not wanting to include you as a staff member.
As a staff. So I called the manager back and I said, I have the list in front of me here. So no, it's not a hearsay. This is the list. And it has all but my name. You can see the staff numbering, and there's one name left, and it would have been mine. Gardener, janitorial staff, trainee,
wow,
drunk dog, post cow, except me.
Oh wow.
So quickly, and instead of apologizing, what they did was start to backpedal and we sent out an email
and try to justify it.
Everybody should work except your department. But I read my department, they have everything, like, my department, they're there. So what they did,
close the window.
So they basically was trying to,
Right, so they tried to exclude me. So I said to her, and I called and I said, this doesn't sit well with me. And, so I waited till my immediate manager came and I said to her, when she walked in, I said, this is the list and I'm not on the list. Everybody has their shirts. Where's mine? And at that point, they want to call me in a meeting. I said, no, it's not the time to call me in a meeting. I said, the time to call me in a meeting was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, when you guys were procuring the shirts. Come in a meeting now to say what this, all they could have done. They said, Mr. Cobourne, we're buying some shirts. We can't find your size. Like, do you have a white shirt at home?
Bring it. You would have preferred if they had said that to you. But they
say something, Mr. Cobourne, we're buying the shirts and it's over budget. For your size, it's $500 more. Would you mind paying the $500 to get those shirts for work? Yes.
Communication.
No. Give me the option. Not the buy shirt for everybody, but what they eventually did to make it seem as if it's nothing. So they gave a particular co-worker her shirt and took it back and told another worker not that he's not working. So
just so you won't feel nobody.
Just to appear as if, not everybody is working.
But you catch a rake long time and be like, me not eat that.
I'm not stupid.
Me look big, but me never that big when me born. Yeah. Oh my God.
So then they're requiring you to come to work extra early and work late for free. But on that day, my time would have been 11 o'clock, 11 to 4. So anyway, I didn't go 8 o'clock. And I found the yellowest shirt to wear that day, the complete opposite color. And I came at 10:56 with my music stumping, my shade. When I stepped out of my car, everybody knew I was pissed. Everybody
knew you were there.
I mean, because they were all outside. everybody stopped.
And what was
I made a beeline to my desk. I brought 6 mangoes and I sat there and ate my because I knew they would have been short-staffed. So meanwhile, but up and down, I just ate my mango.
What kind of mango? What kind of mango?
Stringy?
I think I did sweet. I did
sweetie mango? Green gauge.
I think that's sweetie mango.
Okay.
What is a sweetie mango?
Sweetie and blacky, because
some people call it blacky and some people call it green gauge.
Sweetie would have been look like stringy.
You want to eat the skin?
Right, it's like a thin skin, but blacky is green skin.
Okay.
So I brought my 6 mangoes, and I'm in that one yellow and black shirt. I'm gonna sit on there. Run up and done. Couldn't short staff.
All right, so me ask you this, right?
Still no apology.
Oh wow.
Like along the way, right? You're like along the way, or like throughout your journey, like you've come across persons who might say certain things along the way that might affect you mentally, right?
They might say it, and even the looks and some snide comments.
Okay. So like, has it been a case whereas you've been trying to lose the weight, or you're just comfortable being who you are?
I'm comfortable in my skin. As when I was younger, like in high school, oh God, I would try to go to dietitian. I remember going to some person like every dietitians up and dietitians. And I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't say I eat unhealthily, but my mother cooks for me, and my mother is a health freak. I mean, it's just what it is. And
some people just have big bone, and that's how it go.
And if I choose to lose weight, it's because I want to do it. And I don't think if you work in an organization, or anybody should be maligned or be treated differently because especially in Jamaica, good God, because you're big. So I find it very weird. So I wrote a letter to the director. The director apologized. And they said it's an oversight. And they're going to have more events throughout the year. So I'm waiting to see how that will be treated.
They make sure I can treat you better.
So question, their approach in the end, do you think that suffice? Do you appreciate that, or you just think it's some?
I think the person who is responsible has not apologized. I think persons who apologize, I don't apologize. And the person who should apologize,
apologize.
She still and she knows she does. And I may say, she does something wrong. Because the person, on the day the person came to even after that, the person came to work, and I'm just like a horse.
The person.
And the person, good morning. And I know that Mina answer.
Regular thing.
And they would come around and come near. They want you to see that they're there. I mean, they're sitting there. And I'm not paying attention. Just say, why is it so hard to apologize as managers, as leaders? And I posted it on my WhatsApp, which I never normally post something on my WhatsApp. It was so hurtful because this person, why is it hurtful? Because this person
was friendly with you. Oh, was big.
Big, about 3 million foot tall. So I said to my manager, this person, this female, she's very tall. So I knew in high school she was teased. She never had no boyfriend. She never had no boyfriend. Nobody never liked her. And I even know she's extra tall. So I know she has trouble finding clothes. Why would you be the one to do
that? Calling the kettle black and living a glass house and throwing stones.
Oftentimes, people just always try to find a reason to point fingers on others. As I say, a lot of times, persons stigmatize other people for trying and deflect.
Yeah, it's a projection of who they are inside.
They're trying to deflect.
You see in Japan, like, it's the fat kids try to tease them. Miss Marsha may give them the biggest sticker. When they've done so like that. If I'm in a class, I've seen in class where them try to tease or trouble the fat child. I set up that game. Mr. Marsha, but do everything for the fat pitney win.
Cheat.
Me say, me sit on there and I miss me say, okay, yeah, trouble him. Sit on there, see? And I do if a question,
I understand.
Let me just give me a high five.
Yeah, because and in Japan, like I just said the skinniest persons are considered fat. So now,
Imagine a
Andre.
fat child, like a chubby child. Even like for sports day, how can you give them so wicked? I hate how them.
They put the fatty them down at bottom for the pyramid, everybody. I'm not laughing after
no,
because I'm not skinny myself. No. But yeah.
Remember, say them have the ones who do like the speaker and stuff. Them all are putting in a wheelchair around.
That's true.
It's the old orange, it's the old water and talk on the mic.
It's inclusion.
Inclusion to do. So, so that has been my most recent experience. But I have other experiences in interviews. You get the look. You get the look. You get the questions. Like some stupid questions. Like, what? So, if you can stand up long.
Yeah, that's a nonsense for sure. That's
doing what I want to ask is, Andre had touched on it and he asked her, like, if you're watching the weight. So in my mind, I'm like, Dwayne not watching weight because Dwayne have this 876 this page and him just a grown.
But that is not even.
No, me I say.
Honestly, I want people.
Okay.
I want people. Food and Jamaica, people have this mentality that, because you're not public out there, this is my shade, and I'm drinking green juice, and oh my God, I'm working out.
It's a social media. It's social media because it's filled with content creators and people create what they want to see.
Exactly.
And that's it.
And we can't tell them, so to watch me. Me not watch them, me mad now. me make them mad. Don't try to watch and study me because whatever I post is what I want you to see. So I can give you a narrative. Because people there,
we're all content creators.
You'll be surprised the things that people think about me.
But Dwayne, not to cut your arse straight, what I wanted to say is, Andre was trying to touch on that, are you trying to lose weight and whatnot? I'm like, Dwayne not trying to lose weight, doing this at eat and be merry.
I am not, when I did, surprisingly, when I did my medical, before I came home, I did my medical in Japan. And the doctor he couldn't believe my cholesterol because my cholesterol is so low. Oh. And I'm saying to him, as a doctor, you yourself not, because like my mother we don't eat fried food. The only time I eat fried food is if I go on, like when I go to a restaurant. My mother doesn't fry chicken at all. You've never seen fried chicken in my house.
Yeah, nice.
I eat callaloo like twice for the week. Cabbage. So my mother does eat meat. So a lot of the food she cooks here is very
the food that bother you right now. You're just big bone and whatnot.
And I think part of your life is to be comfortable with yourself and just living your skin. If you lose weight, I'm ready to lose weight. Me go Winchester Medical, go pay me $1 million like everybody else.
I'm going to do gastric bypass.
Go pay me $1 million, go do
gastric bypass if you want.
And do right, and me go Dominican Republic, just suck out and do like Miss Kitty. So they can't watch me.
Don't call nobody name on my program. Big up yourself. Big bright Miss Kitty. Big up yourself.
If we do that now, they're going to say me have AIDS.
No, and not only that, they're going to say you make social media dictate your life and you decide you're going to tuck in your body and fix up yourself.
No, man, that too nice. Don't say me have AIDS straight down the road. I must eat it. Me didn't know.
So me ask you this, right? So for persons, because you're not the only one who is bigger or big bone or whatever case is. So like for other persons who might have a similar situation, as being big, like, and might not know how to cope with it, right? Because trust me, I'm sure a lot of persons, them have it rough, right?
Yeah.
So I know. For you being able to actually cope with it and still be you at the same time, right? Like, what can you actually tell these persons or basically impart on these persons?
Be yourself. Stop trying to be skinny. Stop wearing the tight up clothes. Dress for you. Dress comfortable. Yeah. I hate to see fat people in tight clothes. What is wrong with you?
They want to show them rules. Leave the people them.
You have to love yourself and to love being in your skin. And I've come to appreciate and love myself long time. So it's not hard. And what I'm saying is that it's what I love myself is that I'm disappointed in persons trying to hurt other persons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Hurt other persons because what? I mean, somebody said that your shirt, you make a rude comment. I mean, why people can't just stop fast? But if then I mean it'd be so much better, but just fast.
No, it's with social media, everything is just so open to the public. You get access to everybody. And as Andre mentioned, there are lots of content creators and a lot of persons, they have fans, they have to share. And then people delve into their lives and get too interested in it.
While my following is small, I expect it to grow. So oh God, people always put some negative comments on your thing. So
people search for the negative.
Especially how what I really want to ask you about is your 876 how this taste page, because it's a foodie channel, and as you spoke about negative comments, somebody might be, oh, you're so big and you love to eat, but in your
somebody made that comment already.
And what you
on
say?
The Facebook. I don't answer them.
Just block them.
I just leave. I don't block people because the other watching. Most of it is jealousy. I always tell them in Japan, I tell the girls that when I talk about the breasts and the breasts and big, it's because Japanese girls them always then jealous on the breasts. So is it jealousy? When I'm talking about black, them jealous. A lot of time, persons are just jealous.
And guess what? People always have something to say about it.
Always have something to say because of jealousy.
So
Dwayne, so why did you come up with your food page? Why did you come up with that?
Okay, so I've always been a foodie. I've always traveled I've traveled over 25 countries, and each country I go,
five more.
I've always tried to do a cooking course and try to find the food there. So I've done cooking courses in India more than one time. I go to the same place. I've cooking courses in Spain. I've done cooking courses in Thailand. So I try to. So now what I want to do is bring all of that experience into my 876 how this stays.
Nice. I love that.
So I've always eaten out. I cook at home, but I like to dine. Dining for me is more than the food, is the experience. I like to go out.
Yeah, you like to dine.
Find new restaurants and new eateries, and my friends go there and have a good time. So I've always done reviews informally. Nice. Why just make a page? And one day I just sent out to my friend, like, I'm going to do a page, give me some names. I will brainstorm, and I just started this in May. In May, it's very new, so I started in May, and then I started emailing companies, introducing myself and my platform, and then invited them in to do reviews. So whenever you see, most of the places that I go is they have been invited me to come.
So it's not pop-up. It's a place that you
it's not pop-up, so they know I'm coming. 9 out of 10 of the restaurants, especially if I do an interview with a chef or a manager, those are the ones that actually they know that I'm coming. So it's an assessment, and sooner or later that will form out into a business. But for now, it's for social media. So it's good. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
So which restaurants you recommend? Which have been your best ones so far? You know
what? Choose one.
That's hard. That is so depends on what you want.
I'm coming.
Where are you and what you want?
I'm coming home sometime. Not maybe for Christmas, maybe for spring. And I would like to go to some places because I've seen tourists. Many times I'm on social media and I see travelers, they come to Jamaica and they show us all of these places that I don't know about from my own country.
Right.
So what I like to do in the last 3 years or 4 years is to go home and be a tourist and try to go to new places. And many times I can't go eat pasta down TGI or down
but that is also
place. And we hear about broken place and it look very fancy, and I want to go in my heels and my dress when I come to Jamaica, but more I'll go, different places, so you can give me some ideas.
Right.
Yeah.
But that is so I've started this new feature also called the cutting board. And the cutting board is where I choose a chef and I highlight that chef and we talk about things. So last week we had Chef Demario Bailey. He's a personal chef. So he's a chef for like a CEO. Next week we're having the chef for Pegasus on Friday.
Pick up yourself.
Pick up yourself. But what I keep on asking them is that the menu is constantly being shifted. So now when it comes to Jamaica, it's pasta.
True,
it's pasta. And it's mac and cheese and it's wedges and so the traditional foods.
Foreign dishes basically.
It's basically.
Is it that's why you asked the other day why they don't have rice and peas in restaurants? Some people like home food.
They keep on saying home food, but when other countries, when Rome
and the foreigners them coming here to eat our food.
Listen, that's why I mean like the corner shop them go buy me. I go like they get me old box. I'm gonna go up on the roadside. I'm gonna eat some food because the restaurant I'm going
to. Sushi never come out of Japan. Pasta and pizza never come out of Japan. Why is it Jamaica we keep on adapting to other persons and then we tweak in a way our side? I was saying to the chef that children who were born soon will not know Jamaican food can identify.
And we don't appreciate our own importance and other people see Jamaica and love off everything about Jamaica, but we are always trying to be like them, which makes no sense.
Exactly.
So that is happening. So you have a lot of the restaurants now you can't get rice and peas. It's
mashed potatoes,
mac and cheese and wedges and fries.
Yeah.
Oh, you so hear them. Then have callaloo and I call it greens. So hear that.
So
call it greens.
That is what.
That's
what's happening.
Honestly though, like in everything we do, moving forward, we just need to try and appreciate which part we're there and where we're from. Because everywhere else appreciates us. So we just need to just put more pride in us.
Right, but a lot of everywhere else love Jamaica. But I think
love
socialization for us it look like poor people food. I mean, nobody know what is turned cornmeal.
But I've never had turned cornmeal, but me love my cornmeal porridge. I've never had it. Me love me cornmeal porridge, me love my plantain porridge, and even listen, anywhere me go and see chicken foot and chicken back, I buy it, I'm a curry that. Let me tell you.
Both.
But in other cultures, chicken foot is some expensive thing.
It's true.
And out here,
I think when I went to Taiwan on one of those street markets, they had like barbecue chicken foot.
Yeah.
So
I saw similar food in Malaysia as well.
Yes, in Malaysia.
And I was like, so Jamaica, we need to
appreciate us.
I've never gone to a restaurant and can't get run down. Why me can't get run down?
Really? I'm in love
never gone to a restaurant
and get run down. Some starfish run down. You can't play with me. I don't have no restaurant, but I love me run down.
It's Alfredo. It's Alfredo and ribs
and
mac
and cheese. Pasta now, jerk chicken.
And rasta pasta.
Oh,
I see like a message coming up.
Yeah.
Rasta pasta. So the food menu is shifting. So I hope the chefs get back. And I said to them, you can elevate the food, but keep it local. My thing is keep the food local. Food is a big part of your culture.
Exactly.
And once you start messing with food, you start changing the culture. And sooner or later, there are children out there who, it can't be jerk chicken.
I think don't eat ackee and it bun me. How come they don't eat ackee?
Because they don't grow up on it. They don't eat fried dumpling.
No.
They don't know open fried.
It's when we go Moby, it's when we go Moby and me buy me.
After you boil the dumpling, they can fry it tomorrow.
What they call it? Ella tap and hallelujah at the bottom. Cornmeal pudding. I'm going to buy me sweet potato pudding. I'm going to buy me flour. Because before my friend died, Crystal, she used to bring me to this place when I come to Jamaica. And anytime I go to Jamaica, I go buy it. One pudding lady downtown. No, in a Moby. One pudding lady. And I go down there and we always buy, we're hot gal in the we? You want to see in there now with eels and go and buy food and we don't here. So big up Jamaica every time. I love Jamaica. But Dwayne, before we close up, what I want to ask you is, can you share any messages to Jamaicans in general who probably are struggling with ideas or who are not confident enough to step out and be bold like you, other than being themselves? What can you share to them? What can you?
It has to start from being themselves. You have to be bold. You have to be bold and step out there. Don't let nobody call you down.
Definitely.
Because make your mark. No matter who you are, you have to make your mark in society wherever you go, because you are special too. You deserve. You have a voice. You deserve a say. You deserve your win. You deserve your place. Let it not be said it's because of you not stepping up and not claiming your mark.
Fulfill your purpose.
Yeah, right. Because you never know. You never know. I mean, sometimes when I sit down, just looking at A76, and I'm like, wow, me.
Come up with that.
I was looking at my plan. I was like, oh, for the season we did 20 restaurants. Venetia and Venetia is behind the camera. Venetia
did it?
Yes, Venetia is the camera.
Big up my friend Venetia Bailey.
Venetia is my camera lady.
I had
so you pick up the voice. So Venetia had 20 restaurants. I mean a dibby restaurant. I mean
posh,
high class. Yeah, man. And I appreciate those managers and staff for inviting us in. And so just you never know, just start. Make a start, make a plan, and you never know where that will end up.
So Dwayne, where can we find you on social media?
So I am on Instagram at 876_how_this_taste, and YouTube. Please follow me on YouTube at 876 how this tastes.
How this. So before you leave, I gotta ask you, how it is?
Damn good.
So I think this is a great place to end. Thank you so much. This was an interview filled with laughter.
Definitely appreciate coming.
Thank you so much, Dwayne.
Thank you, guys.
And when we post this, you'll get this. And big up yourself. Thank you for coming, and thank you for being so bubbly and confident. So.
Yeah, more respect for that.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
All right.
Bless.
Bye.
Cool.